Paul told me it was his fervent interest to have this buttoned up before nightfall, because once you start running out of light, the work slows down, because you have to very positively know this conductor, this insulator, this piece of hardware. You have to force yourself to slow down and take the time it takes to do it right the first time. So based on that, he was telling me we're looking at 8:30 or 9 for the work to be done. Then comes the switching back and comes the power. So yeah, we probably missed it by an hour or two, but he was driven to get the work done before then.
Mr. Hoynes.
Did you know, what time was your field rep on the scene to assess the damage? At what point did he get here?
You know, clock time, I don't know exactly. We were made aware of this broken pole off a patrol that Darrell and Power Cooperative did. And that's fairly common. If we're out looking at something, we don't say, well, that's not ours. I'm not going down there. We're out, we're patrolling. In this industry, we all want the lights back on. We want to get the lights back on in order to kind of thing. So Darrell happened to find this and call it into our control room, I believe, and then they would have dispatched through our, probably our general foreman out of Albert Lee. So
You
probably,
know what time that was, or?
You know, again, clock time I don't know, but whenever Darrell found it and called it in, that started things happening. And I was grilling people today, and I don't think there was any real delay in there. I think things moved as soon as we learned about that, and we started to mobilize people. We had a lot of people who live in south central Minnesota who were actually overnight down in, I think they overnighted in Spencer, and we were working down in the Peterson, Alta, Iowa area.
My only point there was, you know, to get a kind of an assessment on the extent of the damage, and again, to communicate that point out, not to be,
Oh, so we can run that over to your leadership?
Yes.
Yeah, and what, we got word it was one broken pole, so a couple of decades of utility experience to those gentlemen pretty much told them what it was going to take. So they formulated a plan, set an expectation. We talked. I think that time changed a little bit, but I think Paul was maybe a little bit more optimistic in wanting it done by dark versus, you know, we ran over. We really did. So.
No, I can appreciate that. I guess that it goes back to the communication issue that we had heard several different times, you know, possibly by 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the earliest, possibly supper time at the latest. You know, and I think that's what we're all getting at here is, we know you can't pinpoint.
And that's what you're saying, I'm trying to run a business here, help me plan.
Especially for those in the restaurant business, they're losing more than product or sales. It's also employment, all that. So one of the ladies that I spoke to, she's like, if I knew earlier, I would have been able to make a better decision whether I should purchase a generator, whether I should close my doors, etc.
And the generator question, again, that's a value decision that an individual household makes, a business makes, a church, whomever. I talked about it with my wife, and you know, we live in a community of 17,000 where, well, if this distribution leg goes down, we should be able to pull off that one. The second big storm that came through in June in Albert Lee, yours truly had a 20-hour outage at his house. So I know what 20 hours feels like. It went off in the afternoon or evening. We were off overnight, which is pretty beastly because it was muggy because we had all that rain. And it wasn't until midday the next day when it came back. So I do have an appreciation for being off that long, and that's why I do take it seriously. But then I agree, better information, better planning, better outcome. And again, we're happy to work with the community leadership on that point.
I think maybe we've roasted Mr. Eilers enough. We've made him pay his dues.
If this is a roasting, this is pretty pleasant.
On behalf of the Rushford Municipal Electric Utility, of which I'm a member, council representative, frankly, we were unprepared. We haven't had this thing happen to Rushford very often. You know, the last major issue we had that I really remember was the flood when that pole was threatening to slide off the hill and needed to be rebuilt. So you know, they did an excellent job there. I think they did an excellent job here. I was up there often during the day, just checking.
Well,
doing
Paul
what
told
I
me
could
there was
do is
somebody
stand
from
there,
the-
you know, and look up at the pole.
Paul told me there was someone from Rushford
Yeah.
Electric Board up there to check on them, so.
Yeah, I stood next to Paul for a while. So.
Good.
So we need to work, the Rushford Municipal Electric needs to work closer with the chamber. Brad, I'm sensitive to Brad's comments. We do need to get something put together with the chamber and have a communication system that works. We fell down. I'm accepting responsibility for that. So,
And
yeah, roast me. But anyway, I really appreciate your coming, Keith.
not a problem. That's part of what we do,
The
so.
information is valuable. The pictures are great.
I hope that sheds a little light on it. I mean, a broken pole is a broken pole. I didn't, you know, bring those pictures to, you know, it wasn't the boohoo angle, but, you know, it's rough terrain. We did truly need the equipment that
And you
took
brought-
so long to get here.
You brought the pole in too, didn't you? Or
The pole itself that went in the ground in place of that busted up one came all the way from Iowa City. And I said, stick extra postage on it and get it up here. We gotta get going. So I think, I can't remember if it was Wendy or Chris said, well, we thought maybe you might be coming Monday. No, this is a today thing. This is a today thing. We're gonna get you guys back out.
That must have been you.
We
I
have
don't
a plan to
remember- I
get
don't
this
remember
done.
that.
Yes, sir.
What is the likelihood or the feasibility of having another transmission line into Rushford, say from the Houston area?
We don't have any infrastructure in that southeastern tip. If there's another provider that's got something south of where we are, that would be an excellent opportunity to explore. Because if we were to build you another line, our company say, well, the most economical thing is to build another tap. Well, two lines running parallel in,
Suffer the same
that's two
consequences.
lines that'll go out, or two poles out. So what you really want, if you're looking for, say, the redundancy element, if not A, then B, then really, if there's another source to tap from, that would be great. Now recognize too that in a bad storm or a tornado, that stuff can get real widespread real quick. So what you're really protecting against with redundancy is something specific there. The animal hit, the lightning hit, truck hits pole, that kind of thing. So
Would Dairyland from Houston or the Cross area, would they be able to provide electricity from there?
that might be an opportunity, and I don't want to speak for Darrellin Power Cooperative. I would certainly say that if they've got infrastructure down there, if it were me, I would entertain that conversation with them. I don't want to make commitments on their behalf or tell you they do when they don't have infrastructure there, so.
Mr. Hynes.
One last comment. I appreciate you coming down, taking your time to give us the accurate information of what went on there. Thanks.
The truth is I know it.
Yep.
Seriously.